What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. I am going to lay down some important numbers that you guys need to know for your coaching business in 2022. Now, something I want to say is that when you are measuring the health of your business, there are specific key numbers that you guys need to keep track of as a business owner in order for you to diagnose problems and bottlenecks in your business that you can then improve upon to grow your business consistently. And the reason why I want to share this with you is because when you measure your business based in numbers, you are then going to be able to look at the information objectively and not subjectively based on how you feel. I'll give you an example. When you look at your numbers subjectively, meaning that there are emotions attached to it and you're looking at it from your point of view, it is really easy to think or persuade yourself that you're not doing well or that you're doing better than you actually are. For example, let's say that for the month of February, you had 3 really good weeks that were fantastic, but you had 1 week at the last week that was really, really bad. So if you don't measure and track your data, then by the end of the month, you might think or convince yourself that you had a really bad month. Whereas if you were to collect the data and measure your numbers, then you can look objectively at the health of your business and see over the course of the entire 4 weeks, even though emotionally you felt like you had a really bad week, you can look at the data and see, oh shit, I actually didn't have a bad month at all. I actually had a really, really great month. So that is why looking at the numbers is going to be really good when it comes to measuring and objectively looking at the health of your business. And with that, when you know the numbers of your business, you can then begin to diagnose bottlenecks that you can then improve. And I'll talk about that here in just a second. But what are the numbers that you need to track? And more importantly, why do we need to track it? So just like with tracking macros, you are not going to be able to determine where your business is at and how it's performing without collecting, consistent data. It's the same thing with tracking macros when you're trying to lose weight. You wouldn't just eyeball the food that you're eating. You want to be able to make sure that you're hitting the numbers accurately in order for you to be in the correct zone of where you're supposed to be when it comes to losing weight. The same thing is for business. So with business, these are called KPIs. So KPIs are known as key performance indicators. And what they are is the target number your data should be in order for you to be in a really good range. And there's a few numbers that you should know as a business owner that's going to make the biggest difference for you. Number 1 is going to be outbound call booking rate. This is a really important KPI for you to know because with this number and with your measurement, you can determine whether or not you are doing a good job or whether or not something's going very poorly. Now, we'll talk about outbound call booking rate first, before giving you the other ones. The outbound call booking rate KPI is for every 100 messages sent, you book 1 to 3 calls. So that's a 1 to 3% call booking rate. So it is a lot of messages sent for only little calls booked, but there should be other calls coming into your pipeline as well, like inbound applications, polls, things like that. This is just with cold outreach. You can guarantee that for every 100 messages sent, you're going to have a 1 to 3% call booking rate. But what this does, it shows you that if you get more than 1 to 3%, then you are actually doing really well for booking calls. If you get less than 1 to 3%, let's say that you book or you send out, 200 messages and you get 1 call booked. Well, I don't know what that is. That would be probably like a 0.5. I don't know what the exact number is off the top of my head, but it's less than your KPI, which means that that is not doing well, that is a bottleneck that needs to be fixed in the business. So knowing what the KPI is and being able to track your data, you're able to determine exactly how that specific part of your business is doing. So that is with call booking. For every 100 messages sent, you should have 1 to 3 calls booked, which is a 1 to 3% call booking rate. Now, from that, you should have at least an 80% show up rate for your calls that are booked. If you have less than 80%, then you're below KPI, which means that you're not doing well in that area. If you have more than 80%, then you're doing great in that area and you shouldn't change anything. So you could determine if you are getting stuck in your business, you're not quite sure where to go, check your KPIs and see how you're doing. Now, the next thing is going to be closing rate. Your closing rate for a business should be anywhere between 30 to 40%. That's a good KPI. Personally, I like to see it anywhere between 40 to 60%. I always want to be bringing people in. The KPI for business is 30 to 40%. That's where your closing rate should be. So with these numbers, you can determine determine whether or not your business is within a healthy KPI. So at the end of the month, you can look at all the data and see, do I have a good call booking KPI? Do I have a good show up rate? Do I have a good closing rate? And you can see which numbers are below KPI. And from that, you can make adjustments to your process and to your routine to increase those numbers. So that is kind of, important numbers to know as a business owner. You should always be measuring those numbers. What is your closing rate? What is your show up rate? And what is your call booking rate? Now, if you are confused on where to start with PTBI. PTBI is an online program that we've created to help personal trainers and fitness coaches launch their coaching business and take it full time. These are all things that we provide for you. We show you how to measure these things. We give you tracking tools on how to do so. We also give you feedback on how to improve your KPI so that way your business can be as healthy and streamlined as possible. And so if you are looking to start your coaching business and you're not quite sure where to start and all this information is a little bit overwhelming for you, click the link in the bio down below and schedule a call with myself or with one of my team members. And we'll show you exactly how we can help you by giving you the business on a silver platter and teaching you how to run it from day one. So with that being said, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I know it might be a little bit confusing at first, but tracking those numbers are going to be really important when it comes to measuring the health of your business. With that being said, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.